Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is cut out our 2 butterflies that are going to be on our topper. So I'm going to cut those out now. So just going to cut along the edge here to get this the actual butterflies away from the other piece of pattern paper, because I'm going to need that later, so put that to one side. And then we're going to just start cutting around our butterflies using a really nice sharp pair of scissors, and basically just following the edges. Now I'm actually going to put gems on my butterflies, but you could easily glaze these and all sorts of different things beforehand. And I would recommend that you, if you're going to glaze them, that you do that before you actually cut them out, because the glaze gives you a little line which helps you cut. So that makes it a little bit easier, but because I won't actually want to do that, I'm going to just cut round like so. Okay, so that's our 2 butterflies cut out. So I'm going to put those to one side for a moment, and then I'm going to get my 2 pieces. No, I'm not. And I'm going to get my piece of paper that I'm going to use for my ribbon, and I'm going to cut a strip, and I'm going to get that ready and put that on the bottom of my card, across the bottom here. And we're going to use some of the mirror card just to border that up as well, and that will just give us some idea of how much space we've got for the rest of it as well. Okay, so we'll just get a tin and cut some. Okay, so we've cut down a piece of our paper for the border, and then we've put cut another piece of our mirror to go like so. So we're just going to stick that together. Now you could either use an ATG gun, or in this case I'm going to use my little Xyron sticker maker. So I'm just going to pop that through there, pull at the end, and make my little sticker. Whoops, miles too much there. And then just give it a bit of a push down just to make sure that all the edges are peeled off okay. Like so. And then we'll take that and stick it to our mirror board. Making sure it's nice and straight and even, so that the gap between the top and the bottom is nice and even as well, like so. Now don't worry about the ends, because they are clearly, you know, it's going to be a lot longer than that, so we're not worried about the fact that the ends are not absolutely perfect or anything, because we're going to cut those all off anyway. So then again, I'm going to pop the whole lot through the sticker maker. There we go, that's a bit better than watching what I was doing this time. Okay, and then the reason to go just down the edges is to make sure that you break the seal of the actual stickiness, so that when you peel off the top, like I did last time, it started to peel off some of the actual paper. It was just because I hadn't done that enough. And then it's just a case of getting hold of that, getting rid of that excess. And then taking our, now completely, this is now got adhesive from edge to edge, so it means that when we stick it down, it's going to stick absolutely perfectly. And we're going to pop that just about here, just looking at the butterflies really, just to see where I want that, like so. And then turn it over, take our scissors and cut off the excess. Like so. And there we've got our paper ribbon, and on that I'm going to put some sort of sentiment, but we haven't got to that yet, so we'll do that bit in a minute. Okay, so the next bit we're going to do is we're going to take our slightly faded version of the same design, and we're going to make a matted square or sort of oblong here, ready for our 2 butterflies to be stuck on, and then we're going to jewel them all up. Okay, so using that and my mirror board, we'll go and cut that all up ready now. Our little butterfly paper on our mirror board, so that will go on here like so. So the next thing we need to do is put some 3D foam or something on the back to give it a bit of lift. Okay, so using some 3D foam, I've got some quite nice big pieces here, so that was quite good. We'll just put a few pieces on the back here. Doing all the corners, and then we'll do 2 pieces kind of in the middle, going the opposite way, just to make sure it's really nicely supported. Make sure it's all stuck down, and then take off our backing. Oh, make sure we don't put our 3D foam in the pile of rubbish, because throw that away as well. Okay, and then stick down our mat like so. Alright, so then that's that part done. So the next bit we need to do is put our butterflies down. Now I'm actually going to use some pin flare or silicone glue, whichever. Pin flare is the same sort of thing as silicone glue, so that we can get a bit of shape to our butterflies. So I'm just going to use my bone folder, and I'm going to just bend these wings a little bit. Just give them a little bit of a curl. And the same with this one. Don't want it too curly. And then we'll pop them kind of where we want them, like so. And then we'll get our silicone glue. Now the pin flare glue is really good because it isn't actually silicone based, and you get it in this lovely, you put it in this lovely little syringe, so it makes it a lot easier. Well, it's supposed to be, but I'm not usually very good with these things. So you can put a little bit extra in the bits where you want it to be raised up, and then just a nice little thin bit on the other pieces, and then just pop it down. Actually, I think we'll have him going like so. I don't want it too raised because I'm going to be putting some gems on there, and then the glue does dry clear, but if there's any just little excess bits, just wipe those off with your finger. I'm just going to push him up a tiny bit, and then I'm going to have this one down here like so. So again, just using the glue, heavier, bit more thicker piece where we want it raised, and a sort of thinner amount on the other pieces, just so it still sticks, but it's not actually raised up. Okay, and then we'll put him kind of down here, I think, like so, and then that gives us a chance to have a bit of a little trail of gems after this one. I'm just going to push him up a tiny bit as well so we can do the same, and that gives us an opportunity to have a little bit of gems just coming like a sort of flight path after our butterflies. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we've got to do is put our gems on. Okay, so let me just zoom you in a little bit so that you can see. Okay, so first of all on our top butterfly, and I'm just going to use these normal crystal gems. So on our top butterfly we're going to use some bigger ones for our, and I'm just using my scissors to pick them up, and I'm going to use some bigger ones on these little sections here. Now ideally it'd be better probably if you let the glue dry, but so just on his sort of dots. So here we go, we've finished all the gems. Takes a little bit of time to put on, but it's worth it, as you can see. I mean, look at all that gorgeous bling on there now. And I think that really gives it a little something extra on the butterflies. And we just did a little bit down the centre there, and then we've got our butterfly trail. So then lastly, on the front we need to put our sentiment. But also I want to put a piece of ribbon, and that's just on the front, and then we want to put our insert in. Now I've got a piece of paper that I printed out already that just had the matching butterflies on it, so I thought we could use that as our insert, because that kind of all matches in with our theme. And then we'll just put a blank section on there of white paper, just so that whoever it is can write whatever their message is going to be on there. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is put our insert in, then we're going to put our sentiment on, and lastly, but most importantly, our bit of ribbon. Okay, so let's go cut up our piece of paper ready for our... And I also added some extra gems and some gems up here in the corner, just to give it a little bit of something on the inside so it followed through, because there's so many gems on the front. I thought that it would just look a little bit boring. And then we used our Scotch tacky adhesive, and we just ran that down the centre spine, and we stuck our insert in using that. So now what we need to do is put on our sentiment down here and a ribbon. Okay, now in this case this is for a 50th, so I'm going to take some stickers that have just numbers, and I'm going to just put 50 or down here in the corner. Let me just zoom in so you can see. Okay, that's the 5. And, oh, not quite in the right place, a bit too far over. So just pull that up. Probably would have been better to put the 0 on first. So put the 0 on. And then the 5. Just making sure that it's at the right height. So now we need to add our ribbon, and I've got this gorgeous blue ribbon, so we're just going to pop that through the centre there, make sure that it's straight. And just tie a simple knot, nothing too fancy, no fancy bows or anything, just a knot will be fine. And the beauty of this is, of course, we can move it around if we want to see whereabouts exactly we want the actual knot to be. So there we go, that looks about fine to me. And then we cut off the excess, like so. Okay, so next to our 50, I just want to add from a peel-off sticker, which I don't use very often, but I just want to add one that says happy birthday. Just get hold of the little so-and-so. There we go. And we'll just put that down on our butterflies here. Okay, I'll just show you that. So it just says happy birthday and then 50. Okay, and then one more thing I was just looking at was on the inside, is that I've got these lovely butterfly silver stickers which kind of went with the 50 on the outside, and obviously the big butterfly theme. So I thought we could pick one of these, and the beauty of these is that you can see them and I thought one of these would look just really pretty flying off our page. I think that one. Okay, so we've got this one here, and then let's just pop that down like so, just to give, again, just that little bit extra something. So that's our finished card. I hope you enjoyed watching, and please leave comments, and see you again soon. Thanks, bye.